Right now, obviously, we've had a few unfortunate situations that have taken place with the losses that we've had. But one thing I will say, our guys are in great spirit and know exactly where we are and why we are in this particular situation. And the best thing about being in this situation is that everybody has a complete understanding on how to work themselves out of it. So with that said, today is Thursday. It's our situational football day. Yesterday we did a heck of a job with the focus, with our intent, with our purpose. Right now we seem to be in that right place, with the right mindset. So I'm very, very excited about practice and looking forward to the next step. All right. With that said, I'm all ears.
So with Sam taking a lot of hits, obviously, and on record pace for sacks and all that, what have you seen there, and what can you do to help protect him?
Every day, you want to make sure that you're taking care of your quarterback. Obviously, some of that is self-inflicted wounds by him, but also, too, we're a team, and collectively, we all take our share in the blame. So we just need to make sure that we're doing a great job of protecting up front. We got to make sure that we're giving our guys all the answers on how to handle all the different issues. But then when it's all said and done, we just need to perform and execute better. And you would love to keep the quarterback clean. Obviously, this is a professional football league. Sometimes things happen. And I'll say this, sometimes without no bad luck, we wouldn't have any good luck. The beauty of it is I think all of this that has happened is helping us to grow together. The thing that I'm finding is the communication level between players, okay? Also with coaches, I can see the growth process. And one thing that you learn, and I've shared this before, and I was just telling our players this, is communication is the key to any successful relationship. I like where we are because I can see our guys doing a much better job of over-communicating at the line of scrimmage. I can hear them in the background communicating, making all the necessary calls. So, yes, would we like to be better? Yes. Would we like to keep him clean? Yes. Okay? But for whatever reason, that has brought us to this place, and it's making us a much better team.
So also the last couple, or two of the last three games, Buffalo and then Chicago, you guys kept him in at the end of games. After the game was, I guess say out of hand, and he took a few more hits there, and, Charles Leno even said that, maybe we have to rethink that. Why would you want to keep him in there, and what did you feel he gained out of that versus some of the hits he even took there?
Well, when I was a young player, I wanted every opportunity to gain as much experience as possible. So being a former player, I know how players think. And so players don't want to ever be pulled. So the thing that I'm looking at is just giving Sam an opportunity to learn how to grow and play through the good and as well as the bad. This is why we are a team. You can grow. You can learn things from those experiences. So when it's all said and done with, this is a part of the process that we're supposed to have at this current moment.
Eric, there's you mentioned Sam, some self-inflicted wounds with the sacks. There's, I guess, some notion out there of if a quarterback has that in him, it's sometimes hard to shake. What's been your experience of players improving in that regard, specifically to avoiding sacks when you're the quarterback getting rid of the ball?
I think every day is a learning process for Sam. So, it's unfortunate that these sacks have happened. I think there is some good that has taken place. Obviously you never want the outcome to be what it was, but I thought Sam did a heck of a job of managing the game. I thought he played his tail off. I thought he competed. I thought he hung in the pocket. I thought he tried to do everything that we asked him to do. So when you have a player that magnitude, obviously you don't want the bad to take place. But the thing that I'm learning about Sam is that Sam is just a competitor. Sam wants to do right. He does not want to let his teammates down. The thing that I appreciate about him is he doesn't back down from anything. He feels that there's nothing he can't handle. So with him having that attitude and mindset, yes, it is my job as a coach to protect him. But also, too, how are we going to get the playing experience if we don't learn how to play through those times, through those experiences? So right now, I think he's doing a great job of handling everything, proud of what he's done. And, we're 5 games into this, and I truly believe everything is looking up.
different topic, but obviously, well, with regards to the receivers, Logan Thomas leads you guys in targets right now, and he had a bunch, obviously, in this last game. At your last stop, the tight end leading the team in targets would make a lot of sense, of course. How much is that is like, hey, we want the ball to go to the tight end as much as possible, or how much is defense is saying, hey, we're not going to give you as much free reign with the receivers that you have, so we'll let you go somewhere else?
Well, I think it's a combination of both. And sometimes when you're in a situation where we just haven't been playing as well, you just want to make sure that you can go out and do the things that can help your team to function. So right now, obviously, Logan has more targets. I don't think anybody's upset about that. I think more than anything, if we're all upset that we haven't had as much success as we think we should be at right now. And so the biggest thing is just making sure that we're dotting our I's and crossing all our T's. Obviously, there are players that we prefer to target, but when it's all said and done with, okay, our job is to win games. That's our job. Our job as a staff is to make sure that we're putting our players in the positions to be successful, okay? And then on top of that, we got to learn together as a staff and collectively as an offensive unit how to handle the shit, excuse my language, when the shit is not right. And so for whatever reason, we've placed ourselves in those situations. And the thing that I can say is, obviously, you don't ever want to go through that. But in going through it, it has helped us to grow. It's helping me to grow, okay? It's helping our coaches to grow together. It's also helping each and every individual player because first and foremost, they're taking a look in the mirror and basically evaluating what are they doing, what can they do better. On top of that, we're doing that collectively as a group, all right? And at the end of the day, we want to make sure that everybody's doing everything under the sun to make sure that we can right this ship. And so, yes, no one wants to be in this situation. But one thing I will say, I am grateful for having this opportunity because I can see the light. It may not be shining as bright outside of these walls, but I can see the light because I can see the growth in our guys. I can see the growth in our players. I can see the growth in our offensive unit collectively.
Coach, coming off these last couple of weeks or a few weeks of losses, what are some of the things that you do to refocus, re-energize, just get ready and prepared to lead your group into the next week?
That's a good question. I think more than anything, the thing that I do, I jump right into it. I'm a guy that's always prides himself in being the hardest worker. I'm going to study. I'm probably over-preparing in most cases because I always want to have the answers. And if I don't have the answer, it's my job to find the answer. And so the way I get back in focus is just getting right back where everything starts. It starts in that classroom, okay? It starts with some of the things that I've learned throughout my career as a player and throughout my coaching career, whether it was with Coach Gary Burnett early at Colorado or with Carl Durrell at UCLA or with Brad Childress with the Minnesota Vikings or John Embry at the University of Colorado or with Coach Andy Reid. And so you lean on those things. You lean on some of those experiences to help you to re-energize and recharge and refocus because when it's all said and done with, these guys are going to feed off of my energy. All right, these guys are going to react to how I react. Just like I'm evaluating them, they're evaluating me. And one thing they're not going to see from me is a person that's slacking in any area. I may be slacking with the razor, and the workout. So, I mean, I need to work out more. That's what I need to do better. But but they're not going to see me not taking anything for granted that can help us moving forward. So those are the things that helps me to recharge. And then my family just got here. They just got here this weekend. So I'm excited. My wife, my kids, the young adults, I should say, they're here. And that makes it even more fun because now when I go home, it's just not me in an empty home going straight to bed. Now I can go home and talk about my day and share these experiences with my family.
Hey, Coach, you kind of touched on it already, how you grow and learn. Every new place you go to, it's going to happen, but especially here losing 3 in a row, especially after that loss after Chicago. I want to know, as the assistant head coach, your conversations with Ron as you guys try to turn this ship around, essentially.
You know what? That's a great question. Our conversations have been great. You know, first of all, I've known Coach Ron since, obviously I knew of him as a player. But having an opportunity to be on that staff with him, on that 1999 football team in Philly, I was just blessed and fortunate to develop a lot of relationships with a lot of those coaches, and obviously a lot of those coaches became head coaches. So the thing that I love about Coach Rivera is that he's always upbeat. He's always talking about all the good. He's never focused on anything negative. That's what I love about having this, when we're sharing our conversations, because he's always sharing the good. But just like he shared a few stats on Sam. When you think things ain't as good as they are, well, hell, you look at Sam's growth process. Obviously, you don't want him taking the hits that he has taken. You probably don't want a young quarterback slinging it around the park that much. But you know what? Sam has done a great job of handling that. He's doing a great job in a number of things. Now, I'm not a stats guy, okay? But sometimes when you look at him, you're like, man, well, damn. I guess we're doing okay. Obviously, we got to fix some things. We got to fix a few things. But now that needs to translate in the win column. So when me and Coach are talking, we're talking about all the good, all the things that we need to continue focusing on, and how we going to keep uplifting these guys and getting them excited about what's next.
And in particular with the defensive line, speaking to them after the game on Thursday, and the writing on the wall literally in the locker room that says, do your job, being held accountable. How do you kind of balance that with also being in cohesion with your unit?
Well, first of all, my name is Boss. Okay, my name is Offensive Coordinator. My name is Former Player. My name is Dad. My name is Uncle. My name is sometimes Counselor. Sometimes my name is, hey, sometimes guys need a shoulder to lean upon. So the thing is, yeah, there is a delicate situation. We obviously are all professionals. We're all grown adults and understand exactly what our charge is. But I'm sensitive to the nature because I was once a player, okay? I was once one of those guys who have been through some hardships on some teams that didn't have the best of luck. So sometimes you're just looking for someone to lean on. Sometimes you can be an ear for them, or sometimes just a comfortable space for them to sit and relax. And so at the end of the day, I'm enjoying all the roles and all the hats that's been designated to me, because each and every person on this team is very different, and you got to handle each and every person different. But collectively, we all know why we're here. We're here to win games, okay? We're here to win the NFC East. We're here to establish home field advantage. We're here to win the Super Bowl, okay? That's the charge. That's the goal. That's not going to change. But on top of that, too, there's a human element of it, okay? And we just got to make sure that we don't lose sight of the people that we're actually working with as well.
Hey, Eric, I've been slacking with the razor in the gym, too, if it makes you feel any better. You guys have faced some early deficits here. How does that impact your play calling, your game planning?
Well, I like to sit here and say it doesn't impact anything, but I'll be telling you a lie, obviously. There's a lot of things that you go into a game plan wanting to do, but at times unfortunate things happen. And my job is to make sure that I'm giving us every opportunity to have a chance. The unfortunate thing was we need to make sure that we can find a way to have early success. For whatever reason, and when you're establishing, building a culture and you're trying to get everyone on board with everything, sometimes it's easy to go back to what you're used to. Sometimes it gets easy when things don't go right. It's easy to say, well, damn, here we go again. Nah, that's not who we are, okay? That's not why we're here, okay? Everybody in this building has dreamed about basically putting themselves on that stage and taking that trophy home with them. So it's our job as coaches collectively to make sure that our guys are staying focused on the prize. Now, we obviously didn't get off to a great start. One thing I'm proud of, and I thought we could have played much better, but I'm proud of the way that we played the second half. We came out with the energy that I was expecting in the beginning. Now, we just need to find a way to make sure that energy starts from play one. How are we going to get that done? I'm working it out. I don't know. But when it's all said and done with, these guys understand it is important for us to start strong and to finish strong and to also not take anything for granted, all right, when it comes to playing, all right, throughout the course of a game. Because I think right now, we just don't know how to maintain a high focus of success, just making sure that we can strive, for perfection throughout the course of a 60-minute process. So we're still trying to figure that out. But the thing that I like is the communication. I said that earlier, the communication aspect of it. I'm watching our guys talk through some things. I'm watching them handle things in between plays. I'm listening to them while they're at the line of scrimmage. And it's been some good stuff. There's a lot of growth that has been taking place. And just like I said earlier, this is exactly where we need to be. Ideally, you don't want to be sitting here at 2-3. But for whatever reason, we've put ourselves in that situation. And it's helping us to grow collectively. It's helping us to grow individually. But the thing I'm loving about it is helping us to grow as an offensive unit together.
It's been since 2017 you've been on a team with a 3-game losing streak, and obviously you're saying it's not what you thought it would be. Has the challenge been perhaps greater than you expected coming to Washington?
No, not at all. Every season, you got to understand, this is the NFL. Everybody gets paid to play. Everybody gets paid to coach. Everybody gets paid to win. Everybody wants to be that guy that's standing on the leaderboard, being that winner. But for whatever reason, that's not where we are. Has it been tough? Nah, this is where we need to be. Ideally, you would always like it to be better. But when this becomes a job, then I know it's time to walk away, okay? This is the fun part, all right? Trying to put all the pieces together so now we can have an established foundation that we can build upon and keep building upon it. Now, when these young guys start coming around or newer guys start becoming a part of who we are, now they're going to understand, hey, you know what? We're not a part of that. We don't do that anymore. This is who we are. This is what we're about. This is what we're proud of. And this is how we're going to collectively continue to build and grow together.
Hi. I realize the game dictates a lot of this, but ultimately, would you like to get Brian Robinson in the run game involved more throughout the game?
Of course. Brian has done a hell of a job. And first of all, when you're going through games like we had, it's unfortunate because things happen. But you never, ever want to leave out players from the game plan. And obviously the game got away from us, so we felt we had to do some other things to give us a chance to get us back in position. And the thing about it, we were so close to getting that game back within 7. And, yeah, you don't want to neglect your best players. Brian has done a hell of a job of working his tail off. The thing I love about the kid is that he just comes to work every single day. He don't complain. He just wants to do whatever he can do to help us to be better. And that's what you appreciate. And when you're building a culture, when you're establishing a foundation, those are the type of people that you want to build it with because he gets it. Sometimes we don't know what it is, but he gets it. And his personality and his attitude is contagious, and it impacts everybody around him. And when you're watching him work on a consistent basis, only thing you want for him, and just like all of our players, you want them to have success. But right now, this is where we are, and this is who we are. We're a 2-3 football team that's not playing very good, but we're learning that consistency is the key to success. And we got to learn how to become a consistent unit.
Sort of a similar question, but against Chicago, you called 55 straight passes. I know you're not going to get back in the game by running when you're down like that, but when you go back and evaluate the tape, like, what do you think of 55 straight passes? And is it, hey, you know, we have to get back into this, so we have to throw a lot? And I guess, what did you think when you evaluated it?
When you're evaluating yourself, obviously you want to do everything under the sun to win. I think Andy Reid would be proud of me that we threw it 55, or how many times was it?
55.
I think he would probably be sitting up there like, yeah, EB, I see you. Once upon a time, you asked for 25, 30 carries for Jamal Charles. Now you're slinging it around the park. But, I mean, you try and give your guys the best opportunity to go win. And, no, you never want to come into a game and say we're going to throw it 55 straight times. But at that particular time, I felt that was what was needed. I felt that was what was needed to give us a boost. And throughout that, I thought our guys played their tails off. You know, there's just a few plays that if I woulda, shoulda, coulda, you know, no telling what happens. But the thing that we're learning is we can't take those moments for granted, okay? We're also learning what the term accountability means. You know, these guys have heard me say this over and over and over again, that indirectly we all impact each other's lives. So we got to make sure that we're doing all the little detailed things that are necessary that can help us to have the success that we need to have. And it's not just about studying and being a bookworm. It's about how you're taking care of your body, you know, making sure that you got the right habits at home, getting the amount of rest. And then when you're coming into this building, I'm coming into this building with the right attitude and the right mindset, okay? And then understanding that collectively that, you know, throughout the course of a game, you may be called upon 3 times to be great, okay? The question is, as you watch and you go through that process, is have you prepared yourself mentally and physically to be great for those defining moments? And I think our guys saw that in true form in this game. And the thing is these guys are understanding I have to do my part. Collectively, we're understanding I have to do my part. Individually, we're learning I have to do my part. Because if I do my part, I'm giving us a chance to have a chance. And so this is where we are, okay? Nobody wants to be 2-3, but I'm sitting here telling you that everything now is looking up because the growth process for us has been great because we're growing together. We're learning together. We're learning about each other.
You mentioned the learning. Can you give us one specific concrete example of something you've learned throughout this first stretch?
Okay. I've learned this. Losing gets on my damn nerves. And I'm being serious. In order to appreciate winning, you have to despise losing. I despise it. So it's my job to make sure that we don't have to go through these emotions. And how do I conquer that? I got to make sure that I'm doing everything under the sun to making sure that we don't go through these experiences, making sure that our coaches are armed with the right information. On top of that, just making sure if there's anything that I can go back and plan it a different way, what would I do? So it's helping me to basically reevaluate everything. That's what I'm learning, how to reassess self. Okay? Thank you, guys.